Hi everyone, this video is a part of Macquarie University's coding tutorials, and today we'll be taking a look at some of the functions dealing with strings. So here I've written 4 functions, and let's go through them one by one. My first function checks if a given string is numeric, which means every single character is a digit. The first thing I've done is I've checked if the string is null, it hasn't been instantiated, or if the string's length is 0, it means it's an empty string. It's not a numeric string, so we can return false immediately. The good thing about this is that now it's guaranteed that the string has at least one character. For the string to be purely numeric, all we need is to make sure that every single character is numeric. So we go through every single index in the string. I've extracted the current character into a variable because it makes things easy for me. And then I check if that character is either to the left of the character 0 or to the right of character 9, because characters have sequential ASCII values. So if it's outside the range, then you can immediately return false because at least one character ain't a digit. If you exit the loop, it means no violations were encountered, which means that the string is purely numeric. I've then extended this function to check if the string is a valid integer. Now, the different thing about integer compared to a numeric string is that you can have a sign at the beginning, which is either minus or plus. If there's no sign, it's assumed to be non-negative. So after our null and empty check, we check if the first character is a sign. And if it's a sign, that's okay. All we have to do is accept and discard it. Once we discard the sign, a sign by itself is not a valid integer. So just negative is not a valid string. So if the string has now become empty, I return false. Once we've handled and discarded the sign, all we have to do is check if the remaining string is purely numeric, which will mean there's either negative or positive or nothing at the beginning originally, which has since been removed, and the remaining string, if it's numeric, then my entire string is an integer. Otherwise, it's not. So I can have a string like plus 1729 or minus 1729 or just 1729. All three of them, by the time it reaches line number 28, they will reduce to 1729. And if that's numeric, my string is an integer. My third function is to reverse a string or to get the reverse of a string actually. So I'm not actually reversing the string itself, and that's generally a good idea. Do not modify the original object. Instead, make a modified copy so you still have the original copy intact. Now for this, I'm using a very simple trick where all I'm doing is I'm grabbing characters from the beginning, so C, A, and T, and then putting them at the beginning of the string I'm constructing. So when I have a C, my result, which is empty, you push C to the beginning and the result becomes C. Then for the second character, you put A at the beginning of the result. So your result becomes AC. And when you get a T, you put that T at the beginning of the result, which is AC right now, and becomes TAC. Just for the sake of completeness, let me just put single quotes around the characters so people don't get angry in YouTube videos, and we are good to go. So your original string is cat, your result is empty, and then you go and put each character at the beginning of the resulting string as you construct it. And that's what we're doing. So for every character of the string, the result becomes the current character and whatever it is right now at the end of it. My fourth function is to check if a string is a palindrome, which means it's the same when read back to front. And the good thing is, since we've already reversed a string, all we have to do is make sure that the original string equals the reversed version of the string. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to just quickly test these four functions. We'll check is numeric Gaurav, is numeric, is integer Gaurav. Let's test these two first and exit. So when I run this, you can see that Gaurav is neither a number or nor a digit. You can say 1729 and negative 1729. Run it again, and this time you can see that 1729 is a number and negative 1729 is an integer. If I use negative 1729, is it numeric? No, it's not, because the minus sign is not a numeric symbol. Next, we'll check what's the reverse of room on the broom, and also check is this string a palindrome. Room on the broom, mulp et no more, something like that is the reverse. And because they're not the same, it's not a palindrome. On the other hand, race car, one word, the reversed string of race car remains race car, and it is a palindrome. So I hope this video helps you construct other functions dealing with strings, and I'll see you soon.